A couple of months ago I made this animated GIF image for the Daily Create, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the techniques I used to create that animation. Rather than just recreating the animation the same, I'll create a new one, but I'm going to use exactly the same techniques. That particular Daily Create had asked, if you were a dance, what type would you be? It originally came from a suggestion from my wife Sarah, who had described how we used to dance to the Van Halen song Jump. So I thought I'd make a GIF version of this using our Twitter avatars. Sarah's avatar is a cartoon image of herself, and mine is a photograph of a puffin. Neither of the avatars has any legs visible, so I wanted to recreate them with legs so they could be more convincingly jumping in my animation. To create my new versions of the avatars, I used a program called SmoothDraw, which is a freeware graphics program that works very nicely with graphics tablets. It's a fairly art type program, it's lots of drawing and painting tools and is quite easy to use. So for this new version, what I'm going to do is make new characters from some of Sarah's doodles from yesterday, and I'm going to use this wee bird. I'm going to select this wee bird and copy it into SmoothDraw. Copy, paste into SmoothDraw, and that's on the background layer in SmoothDraw. But I don't want to work on that layer. I'm going to put in a new layer above that, and that's where I'll work. Just to make this slightly easier to do, I'll zoom in slightly. This is not working. There. And now what I want to do is recreate Sarah's drawing over the top of it on this new layer. I don't need to be too precise, just want to get a sort of feel of Sarah's drawing. And I can hide the background layer just to check that my drawing is okay. It does more or less the same as Sarah's. Now I want to fill in some colour for it. Some dark green for the body. Touch up my lines a bit there, so I've overrun. So there's a few missing bits, but that will. And then a lighter green colour. Use a slightly smaller brush and get these arms done. So there's my version. However, one problem with this is there's gaps, and what I did on my other drawings to sort this is I put in yet another layer and used white on this, a quite solid pen. Just try to cover up everything. Having done that, of course, it looks like I've just ruined my drawing now, but what I can do is move this layer down below the other one, and that means I've got solid white rather than transparency underneath the drawing. So this now is what I want to export as a ping, which is a rather higher quality of transparent image than a GIF can be, but is easy to work with various other programs. So, having created my characters, I need to put them into images and create a series of images which will be the frames of my animated GIF. So for this I'm going to use a different drawing package. I'm going to use one called Inkscape, which is a vector graphics package and will let me rotate images, which is rather nice. This is an open source program. It's available for Windows, Macintosh and Linux, and is again relatively easy to use, although it's got a lot of advanced features which, so fully using it takes quite a long time. So in Inkscape I'm just going to drag in a background image, which will take a wee while because it's a big picture, and I shall zoom to see that properly. Just going to reduce the size quite a bit actually, because I don't want this to be too huge an image in the end. I want my GIFs to be quite small, so view, and again zoom to the drawing. And next I need to bring in my characters. Here's my green owl. I'm just going to shrink him down a wee bit, and I also created another one which I'll bring in. Again, needing some shrinkingness. So there's my two characters for this video or animation. Maybe make them a little bit bigger. And because they are separate objects within this drawing package, I can easily move them around. So what I now have to do is save lots of images. In my the jump animation I used 19 images. This one I'll not use quite so many, but here this can be my first image. So I select the background image and export a bitmap. That's what it's called. So it's my selection. I get to choose a size, that's a reasonable size, and export. Oh, and so I'm going to have to be careful that the next image has a slightly different name. So I need to move my characters a wee bit, have them jumping, and I'll also rotate this one a little bit, and select the background again, export an image. I need to give it a slightly different name, of course. So I'll just do a few more of these and then show you how to put them together into a GIF. So now I've created 10 images with my two birds in slightly different positions in each of them, and these will get put together to make the GIF animation. So to do that I'm going to use this website Giphy.com, and I shall click to create. What I'm creating is actually a slideshow in the way they look at things, and I just need to drag my images onto their website to upload, and I want to set my speed just about as fast as they can go so I get a nice smooth looking animation. I can give it a caption, which will just be an overlay. And having done that, I can create slideshow. So it's going to create my GIF image, which I'll then download. So in Giphy.com, when you click download, it gives you various options for size. You click on these and it just gives you that image, so you can just use save as. So that's what I'm doing here, and saving it with a new name. It defaults to be called jiffy.gif, so give it a name like birds.gif, and that's it on my local hard drive. So that's my GIF animation completed. And here you can see the completed animation, which I think looks okay.